Hello and welcome to another walkthrough by Commander Rogden from Rogden Gaming. We are currently on the main quest storyline walkthrough, part 7. This is the Throat of the World quest that we are going to be starting. As you can see, I have finally managed to complete the Horn of Jurgen Windcaller questline, which provides you with the third word of power in the Force Shout, which is extremely effective against most enemies. It will knock them off their feet and render them unable to attack you. You could have completed this quest as soon as you received the horn, and if you are having any difficulty with any of the other quests, I do recommend doing so, as you will find it extremely helpful. Assuming that you've learned that word of power, you'll need to start to Arngeir to start the quest. You need to ask him where to learn the shout to defeat Alduin.
Who have you been talking to? The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bound. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes?
Depending on how you answer this question will prompt a different text sequence. I'm just going to do the easiest one here, or the quickest one rather.
I have been intemperate with you, but heed my warning. The Blades may say they serve the Dragonborn, but they do not. They never have. No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice. Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses. He lives in seclusion on the very peak. He speaks to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed, only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
After you've finished following the Greybeards outside, it will go through a little sequence where you need to learn the Clear Skies power, so go ahead and take care of that. Once you have obtained the Clear Skies shout, you can use it to get rid of the wind that is blocking your way. Word of caution though, do not stand inside of the wind, as it is very damaging. This path is otherwise very straightforward, though somewhat dangerous. A tip I do have for you though is not to use the full power of the shout to get rid of the wind. You can just use the 5-second recharge. Once you have reached the Throat of the World, a dragon will approach. This is not an unfriendly dragon, just wait for him to talk to you.
Dremyolok, greeting. Who are you? What brings you to my Strumach, my mountain? Yes, Vaza, you speak true, Dovahkiin. It has been long since I held Tinbach with a stranger. I gave in to the temptation to prolong our speech. Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove.
So now he'll use a shout which you can quickly learn and then use on him. Once you have learned the Fire Breath power, go ahead and shout on him. Don't worry, he won't attack you. And he won't be hurt either.
Yes, Sosedo Vlostmul, the dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. You have made
Paarthurnax has a lot of interesting dialogue that I definitely recommend that you go through and listen to. I'm not going to be doing that in this particular walkthrough though. I will give you the short version of what he says, and he explains to you that he does not know the Dragonrend shout because it is beyond his understanding as a dragon. However, the Nords of the past used it before, and what you need to do is use an Elder Scroll to travel back in time and to find out what that was. He recommends that you speak to either the Blades or to the Greybeards to find out that information. Before you leave him though, you may want to have him add the active effect to your character, which he describes as Foos, which is force without effort. It provides additional knockback to your enemies and reduces the knockback that you receive. Now, you can only have one of these active at a time, but it is permanent, and here's force without effort and what it does.
So, you spoke to Paarthurnax. The dragon blood burns bright. Did he tell you what you wanted to know? Did he teach you the dragon? So be it. If he believes it is necessary for you to learn this, we will bow.
So Arngir goes on to tell you that he does not know where the scroll can be found, but likely the wizards in the College of Winterhold will be able to tell you. He goes ahead and updates your map with that information. However, if you choose to do so, you may still speak to the blade. Regardless of who you go to gain that information, you will need to enter the Mage College's Arcanium, which means you will need to join the Mage Guild before you can do this quest. The requirements are pretty low, so you should be able to handle it. You'll need to speak with this character here and provide him with the information that you need to know.
And what do you plan to do with it? Do you even know what you're asking about? Or are you think that even if I did have one here, I would let you see it? It would be kept under the highest security. The greatest thief in the world wouldn't be able to lay a finger on it. What about? Wait. Were you the one the Greybeards were calling? I'll bring everything we have on them. But it's not much, so don't get your hopes up. It's mostly lies, leavened with rumor and conjecture. Until next time.
So what you need to do is read this book here on the right-hand side, which will start the next part of the quest.
Hundreds of you. You need a book? You talk to me. Otherwise you're going to... Aye, that's the work of Septimus Signus. He's the world's master of the nature of Elder Scrolls. But he's been gone for a long while. Too long. Somewhere up north, in the Icefield. He said he found some old Dwemer artifact. But well, that was... haven't heard from him since.
So as you probably guessed, your job is to go out and find where this guy is located. Once you've obtained that information, your map will be updated with this character's location. The safest way to get to this area is to wander around this side of the college. Once you have navigated your way through the ice-strewn area, you'll enter the realm of crazy by talking to this crazy guy right here.
No more could be placed. Elders, the Empire.
So nothing that he says really makes any sense. To give you the gist of it, he knows where the scroll is, and he'll explain to you how to find it. So after you've accepted a side quest, assuming you understood what it even was he was asking you to do, he will add the Elder Scroll location to your map, which is located at Alftand, which is just southwest of Saarthal if you've done any of the Mage Line quests. Otherwise you'll have to travel there by foot. Probably the closest way is from Winterhold. The route you will want to take is along this way, through the mountains, and over to Alftand, which means you will want to head right at this first pass over here. You want to head straight down this way. And you'll want to hug left up these mountains. Once you reach your destination, you'll want to head down and to the right over these rope bridges and into the glacial ruins. It is important to note that the game will tell you that your quest objective is actually located somewhere down here around on this platform. Now, while this is actually a Dwemer ruin, and if you are hard up on cash, I recommend that you clean it out for the items, it has nothing to do with our objective. After you've traveled a little while through this area, you'll encounter your first treasure trove of items, and do not forget this chest that is embedded in the rock. There will also be your first enemy encounter, which will be popping out of this tube. So anytime that you see tubes look like that, there is a very good chance that this little spider will be jumping out of it, and we'll go over which ones those are as we progress through this map. As you come around this corner, do not forget to search in this cubbyhole for another hidden treasure chest. And be wary of your next spider encounter. So we see that there's a couple of guys already down here trying to loot the area, and they are unfriendly, so make sure to get rid of them. So as soon as you step on this platform up here, it will trigger 2 dwarven spheres coming out of those little holes there. See, there they are. So you cannot see it, but on that ledge there is a hidden treasure chest, and in order to reach it you need to stand on these platforms and let them push you to the top. So there are a couple more spider spawns in this room, one from this area here, as well as one from the gate over in this area. So just make sure that you deal with those 2 spiders. So in the event that you were not aware, dwarven metal scraps, large decorative struts, as well as solid metal pieces can all be turned into dwarven metal ingots, so they're actually worth something to pick up, despite their value initially indicating otherwise. So there is an obvious treasure chest up here, but also a pressure plate right in front of it, as well as another treasure chest hidden in the rubble back here. This ball in the middle of the room is actually a hidden sphere, so make sure to take care of him before you go in, or just bash his skull in when you enter. You may recognize this location as being the top portion of the room that you were just in. Now these pistons can and will push you off if you stand in front of them, so you don't want to stand in front of them. There are a couple more spider spawns from these areas here, so they'll be spawning in just shortly. As soon as you get to the middle one of these pistons, they'll spawn in. If you are interested, there is another journal back here for the story of the investigators for this area. Right over here. And up these stairs there is a dwarven sphere patrolling. It's on its patrol route. A word of caution before heading up these stairs. As you can see, there's some pressure plates, so make sure that you don't step on them if at all possible. Those that are curious, this is what happens when you step on them. There is also a hidden treasure chest back here. So you go ahead and open that up. For those of you with a relatively high lockpicking skill, you may wish to head over to the right and get rid of this stupid spider over here. Over to our right is a treasure chest. Doesn't require any skill in it. Over on our left, though, we have an extremely difficult gate and another even more difficult chest. There is, however, a lock-picking book in this room, so go ahead and learn it, since you're probably trying to raise that skill. The correct way to go, however, is to jump down here. Now, there is currently no way back up, so if your inventory is getting full, I recommend you go back and sell off your items, but there will eventually be another way. If you head up around this way, you can get another treasure chest. Just don't get hit off by the piston. So you'll see that there's some Falmer enemies wandering around, so make sure to get rid of them before you head on down. There'll be quite a few of them. If you want to cause a bit of mayhem before you get started here, you can let loose a few arrows at these guys, and let the spider spawn out and take care of him. You may also wish to take care of this tripwire, so get rid of it so you don't get smacked in the face by that. Although you may not actually encounter it, try not to get engulfed by these flames that come from the ceiling. This area here has a number of additional Falmer. Apparently there's an alchemist over there trying to make some potions. After taking care of the Falmer in this room, you'll want to run up to this switch, as this will bring you back to the surface. You can access the surface by hitting this lever back here and opening up the gate that was previously barring your way in this room, and just following your way back out. There's another quicker way a bit further in, but again, if you're loaded down, now would be a good time to leave. Well, we're not quite through the quest yet, but I am starting to lose focus here, and likely you are too, so what I'm going to do is simply stop this walkthrough here and split it into 2 parts, so I will be releasing the second part tomorrow, probably along with a short on finding Nirn roots in Blackreach. So again, this has been part 1 of 2. This has been Commander Ogden. Thanks for watching.